Have you ever looked at a dog and just seen a wolf staring right back at you? Well, today we're diving into the incredible story of a breed that truly walks that line between domestic and wild. It's a breed born from a controversial experiment, one that kicked off a fight that lasted for decades, just for the right to exist. This is the Czechoslovakian wolf dog's fight for recognition. It's a bigger question than you might think, right? I mean, for most breeds, their story goes back centuries. But what about a breed that was created on purpose in a lab? What does it have to do to prove to everyone that it's not just some hybrid, but a real stable breed? Well, that was the massive mountain the Czechoslovakian wolf dog had to climb. All right, so let's get into it. This story doesn't start in some warm, cozy living room. Nope. It starts behind the fences of a military kennel. Back in 1965, a biological experiment wrapped up, but when the military stepped away, the journey for these dogs was really just beginning. Their fans wanted to create a brand new official breed, but they hit a massive wall right from the get-go. So on one side, you've got this incredible idea: blend the trainability of a German Shepherd with the stamina of a Carpathian wolf. But on the other side, you have tradition. And the established dog world, the people in charge of all things purebred, they weren't just skeptical, they were outright hostile. And this really breaks down the heart of their struggle. On the left, you've got the dream, a new official breed that combines the best of both worlds. But the reality on the right? Oh man, it was a nightmare of powerful experts saying no, political red tape, and just constant, soul-crushing rejection. So what was this wall made of? Well, first off, there was this huge fear that mixing in wolf blood would somehow corrupt the purebred lines. Then, the official organization in charge, a group called Svazarm, just flat out refused to register them, slammed the door in their faces. And because of the politics at the time, they couldn't just go start their own club. They were completely trapped. But you know what happens when all the official doors get slammed shut? Sometimes a different kind of door opens. And this one wasn't in some stuffy government office. It was in the homes of people who just believed in these dogs. And this, right here, is the turning point. This is when everything started to change. While all the official groups were saying no, a small group of incredibly passionate civilian breeders, led by the breed's founder, Karel Hartl, basically said, fine, we'll do it ourselves. They created this almost underground network, keeping the vision alive when it looked totally hopeless. And you can just see their persistence on this timeline. I mean, this was a 16-year marathon. But look at 1981. That's the first crack of light. They finally get approval to register the dogs in the official stud book. And then, bam, just 1 year later in 82, the impossible happens. It's officially recognized as a national breed. Huge. 43. I want you to remember that number. It sounds small, but it's massive. That's how many of the very first puppies were officially registered. 43 little living, breathing symbols of a fight that had been going on for nearly 20 years. It was an incredible victory, but the final boss was still waiting. Okay, so they won the battle at home. That's amazing. But to win the war, to really secure this breed's future and prove to the entire world that they were legit, they had to go global. They had to face the final boss. And that final boss has a name, the FCI, the Fédération Cynologique Internationale. Let's just call it the World Canine Organization. The easiest way to think of them is like the Olympics for dog breeds. Getting their stamp of approval is the ultimate prize. It's the gold medal. Now, the FCI doesn't just hand out gold medals for looking cool. Oh no. To get that recognition, the breed had to pass what were basically 3 epic trials. First, prove what you can do. Pass all these grueling working and endurance tests. Second, define who you are. Create this perfect, super detailed blueprint for the breed. And third, and this is the really tough one, you have to pass the test of time, a 10-year probation to prove you're not just a fluke. So, after decades of fighting at home, and now these grueling international trials, the moment of truth was finally here. This is the climax of their entire epic journey. And there it is, June 1989. Helsinki. The FCI grants provisional recognition. The breed is officially on the world map. This was an absolutely massive victory. But remember that third trial? Well, that 10-year probationary clock had just started ticking. A full decade later, June 1999, Mexico City.
They crossed the finish line. Definitive, permanent, worldwide recognition. The fight that started in a military lab more than 30 years before was finally, officially won.
And just look at the legacy of that victory today. This breed has a global paw print. Slovakia became the official patron country, but its popularity just exploded everywhere else, especially in Italy, of all places. Italy actually has the largest population outside the breed's homeland. It's even recognized by the big kennel clubs over in the US. But with all that popularity comes a warning. And this one came from the founder himself, Karel Hartl. He was really worried that people would get obsessed with the wolf look and totally forget about the unique character and needs of the animal inside, basically turning it into a living fashion accessory. And you know what? His warning was spot on. That wild beauty is a double-edged sword. So many people are drawn to the way they look, but they're completely unprepared for the reality of a super intelligent, high-energy, and very demanding dog. And the sad result is that there are now dedicated rescue stations for these wolf dogs, from owners who just couldn't handle the reality behind the look.
So the whole story of the Czechoslovakian wolf dog really leaves us with a question that's about way more than just one breed. In our love for dogs, what really matters more? The appearance we can shape, or the character and spirit that's already there? It's a question the founders fought to answer, and it's one every single potential dog owner should be asking themselves today.